Are these Butterfork knives as great, y'all, or not as great? It's what I've been hearing on the internet. Today, we're going to find out together the truth about these Butterfork knives. Today, I'm going to be showing you how these knives come when you order them, and then we're going to test these out on all different types of items over here. But first, when you get these, they each come in their own individual box, okay? And when they show up, they're going to have a sheath on them. And this is an oak sheath. This little thing, as a pin here, so let me take the pin out. This little thing here, y'all, this is very nice. It's very hard and it's very sturdy. I like it for me because I have a small drawer under here that I keep my favorite knives that I'd like to use. And this is just some extra protection. So I do like the fact that they each come with their own little sheath. There are two knives that I actually have. I have one that's the nakiri knife, and I have the chef's knife. And we're going to be testing out both of these and telling you a lot about those today. First of all, the handle. The handle on the nakiri knife, if I just look at the color part is 5 inches, okay? It's a little bit longer above the color. And then right here, the blade part of this is 6 inches on the nakiri knife. So in case you're thinking about ordering them. And then this right here, the handle on the chef's, again, is 5. But when you go all the way up to the bottom of the knife, it's about 5.5. And then from the very tip of the chef's knife, we're looking at down to the handle, it's almost 8 inches, I believe. Now, real quickly, the color on these, I love this color. I like this kind of color. It's kind of a yellow butter color. And as you know, I like everything to be pretty when I'm cooking in the kitchen. I love this color. I did go on the internet and I was looking, and this comes in multiple colors. And one of them is a really nice, pretty, professional gray. So I think that's my other favorite choice. But they come in purple, I think it was a purple, a violet, there's a blue. There's just some beautiful colors when you go out there and you look. But I like this one right now to start with, is with the yellow. Now guess what? And for someone like me, if you're like me and you like all your things in your kitchen to be really pretty, this is the coolest thing ever. Let me put the sheath back on and let me show you something. And guess what? You're not going to believe this. So I'm going to put the sheath back on to protect myself. It comes with this little tool. And when you put this little tool in here and you turn it counterclockwise, you're supposed to be able to change out the handles. Now, I've not done this yet. I just got them. I haven't used them. And because I wanted us to find out together how well this really works. But you can see, and I'm going to bring you up close here in a second when we start chopping and slicing and cutting. But y'all, what this does, turn it clockwise, and I'm playing with it here. This comes out. This is nice and very heavy. The end of this comes out, and then you're supposed to be able to change out your knife, your blades. And yes, you are. Look at that. Look at that. It comes right off. So then if I wanted to put on a blue, or I wanted to put on the gray color, I then could just take it and put it on and change it out for whenever I wanted to. I think that's the neatest thing ever. I like that. I like having things that are kind of fun. This handle is super thick. I was worried about that. When I found out that you could change, this right here, I thought, well, this is probably going to be flimsy. And I've never seen a knife do this. So I thought, well, maybe this is just some kind of little sales gimmick or something. But no, it's very nice, and I'm excited about it. I can just change those up whenever I want. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on. You do it clockwise to get it on. And here we go. And I'm going to put it on there really firm. And y'all, and each box comes with one of these little keys. That is the coolest thing ever. Okay, so let's put this over here, and now let's check out the knives. I did want to show you really quick because I was thinking, well, how do these knives in size, how do they compare to some of the other knives that I use all the time when I'm cooking? And so I took out a couple of knives that I use a lot. And this one is a really nice knife, and I've compared it, and it is about the same size. And then here's another one that I really like to use. and this one is a little bit longer actually. So I was really happy with how they compared to some of the knives as far as in size of what I'm used to using. Now I'm going to tell you, before we chop, I want to tell you just a couple of things in case you're a person who is extremely knife knowledgeable and you're wanting to know some more information. For myself, I am still pretty much a beginner cook, been cooking for about 5 years. And so I have knives and I use them, but my husband is tons more knowledgeable about knives than I am. So I looked up a couple of things that I think would be important for you to know if you are someone who collects knives or you are extremely knowledgeable. So first of all, I wrote a couple of notes for you. First of all, on these knives, the hardness of them is a 59 to 60 HRC. 59 to 60 HRC. And that's supposed to be really good, okay? And then the other thing is the type of steel. The type of steel, and I'll make sure this pops up for you, is an AR-R9M9 powdered steel. When I did research that, it came up that that was a very, very good material. So I just wanted to give you that information in case it's something that you're looking for. Now what I'm going to do is we're actually here going to start with the Nakiri knife. So I'm going to put my sheath back on this one. We'll set it over here, and we're going to get started with the Nakiri. As I get everything together here that we're going to start chopping and slicing, I want to tell you how I came about these knives. So Butterfork reached out to me and they said, we'd like to send you some knives to review. They are not sponsoring this video and they're not paying me. They asked me for my honest opinion. So that's what we're going to get today, is we're going to do this all together. We're going to see how they work, and we're going to see, like I said at the beginning, are these as great or not as great as what we're seeing on the internet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our Nakiri knife. Now, y'all, I told you that I've been cooking for about 5 years, and that as far as knives, my husband's a lot more knowledgeable, and I'm learning more and more. But I did do some research before this video, and I found out what a Nakiri knife was. And if you've never used one before, Nakiri means either vegetable cutter or leaf cutter when I looked that up. And this is the knife that you use most of the time just for your veggies. And to me, it looks kind of like a cleaver. It's kind of like a mini cleaver. But what I like about it is I have small hands. And this is obviously will work great for someone with bigger hands, but if you have small hands like I do, this is fantastic because when I hold it, it's very smooth, it's very easy to hold. It has some little edges here that you can grip with, so I can tell that for me, it's going to be very comfortable to use. So first of all, what I want to do is we're going to take a tomato, and I'm going to bring you up close so you can see this as we're doing it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to test out the Nakiri knife on a tomato, and we're going to get started. I'm just barely going to touch the tomato because I just want to see how much pressure it takes. And I barely have to put any pressure on this knife, and it just slices. Watch this. We'll do several of them. It just slices this so easy. Very good. Keep going. Look at that, nice and easy, barely touch it. Super, super sharp. Looks good, so our Nakiri has passed the tomato test. Now we're gonna see how our Nakiri knife does on an onion. And this is a good size. This is a pretty large onion. And so we're just gonna, again, to start, I'm just gonna put as little pressure as I have to. And y'all, this is just, I love this. I think I need to sharpen my other knives because this little guy is so sharp. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Just gonna rock it back and forth. Look at this. Oh my, barely. This is nice, very nice. So what I wanna do is I wanna try something. I'm gonna chop this or slice this. Look at this, y'all. And I wanna see how well this does. That might be enough right there. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna chop it up some and see how I like it. Okay. Because sometimes I don't want to use my little food processor and I just want to chop. Look at that. It's very nice. Okay, I am pleased. And then what I want to do is sometimes when I'm chopping, I like to just hold it like this and chop. And I was curious to see how it did. And I'm just barely touching the onions. I like that. Okay. So for me, and the type of cooking that I do, this is very, very nice. Okay. And I think, look at the back side of this. Let me wipe this off right here just a little bit. But the blade, I like how the blade is curved on the bottom, and this part here is so nice and thick that I think I could probably take it and use it to kind of move my onions around. So I like that. I don't think my other blades, I'll have to go check, are as nice and thick on the top. It's looking good. And so far, I'm pleased. So far, I think that this is a knife that, at least for someone who cooks at my level, would absolutely love this. And it's nice and it's beautiful. It's nice and beautiful. So let me scoop these up with my scooper over here. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try this out on, I think I've got a cucumber over here. So let me scoop this up. Let me scoop these up real quick. Okay, now we have got a cucumber, our last item that we're going to sit here. Let me take this little label off. And this is a cucumber that I had started yesterday for one of my salads. And we're just going to continue this cucumber. But I'm going to be using this knife this time. So here we go. And again, very nice. Look at that. Just easy, easy peasy, y'all. Easy peasy. So this little guy's great. We can already tell that this one is great for your vegetables. Easy, easy. Okay, so the Nakiri knife is a goodie. Now let's go over and we're going to test out our chef's knife. Now we're going to be trying out our chef's knife, and this knife you can use for everything. You can use it for veggies, you can use it for fruit, you can use it for meat. I'm going to try it out first of all on an apple that I have here. So here we go, and I'm just going to take this. I'm trying to figure which way I want to do it. I think I want to do it this way. So I'm going to take this and right here, yeah, I think I'm just going to slice right here. So if y'all can see this, and I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to slice straight through it. So I think it did well. It didn't go as quick and as smooth as the tomato, but I think it's because obviously the apple is a lot tougher. I had to put a little more pressure on it than I did on the tomato, but as soon as I put more pressure on it, look at this. So now let me come over here, let me move this over here and let me slice. Okay, look at that. Yep. So I like this. I like the chef's knife. I think it cuts extremely well. I think with the Nakiri knife, what I like so much about it is actually I've never had a Nakiri knife before. So it was kind of cool. But y'all, this is just flying through this apple. When I sit here and just slice this little guy, look at it. Very sharp. I will tell you, if you get one, be extremely careful, because I have noticed that just by cutting it, this is extremely sharp blade. There we go. So yeah, and I'm able to, this is actually a little bit easier than the knife I've been using. So I'm happy with this. Just got to put a little more pressure on it than I did in the beginning. So there we go. We got our apple sliced up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try this on something else. We're going to try this chef's knife on some sausage. Okay, now I have some sausage, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our chef's knife and we're going to see how well this slices through this, okay? See how much pressure it takes and how it does. Oh, wow, look at that. It just slices right through it. Oh, my goodness. Very happy. Look at that. Very easy. Now, if I could just get some really good knife skills down, which that's one of the things we're going to be doing some videos on, y'all. We're going to do some videos on knife skills as I'm learning a lot more. Look at this. Okay, I'm excited because usually this sausage right here, when I use my other knives on it, it's not super easy to get through this. And this is just flying through. Super nice, super sharp, fantastic. So our chef's knife, it has passed the sausage test. I can honestly say, y'all, that I really do like these Butterfork knives. And if this has been helpful, please pop that little like button. It helps others see the video. And also leave me a comment and let me know if you purchased these and what you think. Now be sure and check out that next video that's popping up. I'll see you there in a few minutes. Bye-bye.